final test. Here we go. Good Tuesday evening to you. Glad to have you along here. Jordan King with you on WLA TV. Tonight, a Flyway Conference matchup between the Orioles of North Fond du Lac and Winnebago Lutheran Academy. The Vikings getting at it here on the girls' basketball side of things. Glad to have you along on this Tuesday evening. The Orioles come into tonight's contest. You know, they got some big wins over the course of the season, does North Fond du Lac, but at the end of the day have struggled so far this season. Just under 500, 8-10 on the year, averaging 49.7 points per game, so right about that 50-point mark for North Fondy. Their biggest win of the season was a 30-ish point win over St. Mary's Springs Academy earlier on in the season. We'll talk about the Flyway in just a second and how that all stacks out. But that was the biggest game of the year, and then following that up, North Fond du Lac kind of evened things back out when they lost to Lemira by about 20 points, a game they probably would have expected to win. So 1-1 that maybe on paper you would think North Fond du Lac would lose, and then lost one that on paper you thought maybe they would win. And that's why you don't play any game. That's why none of this happens on paper, right? So far for North Fond du Lac, they've played two teams twice already. They have taken care of Campbell Sport a couple of times, and they lost to Laconia twice as well. They still have Mayville, Lemira Springs, Omro, and then tonight here against WLA. They got that game against Omro coming up on Friday. On Friday for the Vikings, it's a big one. They have the Laconia Spartans. Meanwhile, they're just a half game or a game behind them. Pardon me. In the conference race, Laconia 9-0, WLA 8-1. But you can't overlook a team like North Fond du Lac. You got a big game coming up later on in the week. You'd kind of be forgiven for looking ahead to that one. But, you know, when you're coached by a Wisconsin Basketball Hall of Famer, WBCA Hall of Famer Gary Keel, the coach for the Orioles, you always got to come prepared because you know they're going to give you a good shot. And I expect that to be what happens tonight for the Vikings. Got to come to play. Got to play well, or they'll find themselves in a fight against the Orioles tonight. We'll see what happens. The Vikings have the top two scorers in the conference. Kiara Shea remains the leader in the conference at just about 18 points per game, 17.9 points per game. She's over 1,000 on the career, did that earlier this season. Lindsay Nell averages 15.9 points per game. Julia Cook out of Omro, not Cooko. Cook out of Omro averages 15.1 points per game, and Abby Cole's right there at 14.7. So if Abby has a big night tonight, there is an opportunity. The Vikings have the top three scorers in the conference heading into Friday's game against Laconia. And that's not to say Laconia isn't deserving of their top three status in the state or top two, whatever it is. They're one of the best teams in the state in the Vikings division in Division 4. But Laconia definitely goes a little bit deeper than the Vikings do. But when it comes to pure high-level talent, the Vikings certainly have that with Kiara Shea and Lindsay Nell and Abby Cole. Abby also averages 12.3 points per game or rebounds per game. She is a monster on the glass, and something to watch tonight. She has a 4-rebound cushion at the top of the Flyway in terms of rebounding. She gets after it like the only other player I've seen as ferocious on the glass as her. Now Chop Simmons is getting there, and we'll talk about Chop later on in this game because he's going to join us at halftime. But I'll tell you what, Ethan Cole was pretty good on the glass, and Abby is showing kind of that same prowess so far this season. So averaging a double-double, that is no slouch of an effort there for Abby Cole. Vikings 14-3 on the season, kind of buried the lead there. You're welcome on that one, averaging 64.8 points per game. So there is about 15-ish, 16 points per game difference between these two teams coming into this contest. We'll see how that plays out tonight. The Vikings last time out was on Thursday. They took care of Lemira at Lemira, 65-45. 20-point win for the Vikings there. As I mentioned, 8-1 in the Flyway. Omro's in third, 6-3. St. Mary's Springs comes in at 5-4 in fourth place. These North Fond du Lac Orioles in fifth place at 4-5. Lemira 3-6. Mayville 1-8, and Campbellsport is 0-9 on the conference season. So some strugglers at the bottom, but you're looking at one of the top teams in the conference for the Flyway in the WLA Vikings. As I mentioned, Chop Simmons set to join us at halftime. Hope you'll stick around for that. Got halftime entertainment, as we have recently very consistently. We had Kira and Siri. We had Sam Blair. Last night we had Avery Supernan and Lindsay Nell. And tonight, going to have Chop Simmons. So I'm looking forward to that. Chop is by far and away, I think, the vocal leader for the Vikings, at least based on what I have seen so far this season and in the limited time I've gotten to be down next to the court. Chop has, in my opinion, one of the greatest traits you can have for a teammate, and this is the best way I can say it, is Chop just doesn't shut up, which is one of the greatest things you can have from a basketball player in terms of being a team leader. That's what Chop is for these guys. So I'm looking forward to that coming up at halftime. But first, we'll have first half action between the Vikings and the Orioles. We're about 3.5 minutes away from that. Anthem and starters, that comes up next. Thanks for joining us. Hope you'll stick with us for this evening's Flyway Conference contest. The Vikings, 8-1 in the Flyway. The Orioles, 5-4 in the Flyway. That comes up next. Stay with us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Winnebago Lutheran Academy for this evening's Flyway Conference basketball game between the Orioles of North Fond du Lac and the Vikings of your Winnebago Lutheran Academy. Winnebago Lutheran Academy, North Fond du Lac High School, and the WIAA require good sportsmanship at education-based sporting events. Attendance at interscholastic activities is a privilege with the expectation to exhibit positive and respectful behavior. For the enjoyment and respect of all in attendance, your cooperation in demonstrating the high ideals of sportsmanship is expected and greatly appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please stand and remove your hats and join us in honoring America and those who protect it with the playing of our national anthem, performed by the WLA Pep Band under the direction of Mrs. Abigail Kerr. Thank you, Pep Band. Now it's time to meet the starting lineup for this evening's game. First for the Orioles, the 5'3" junior number 1, Lily Heidel. The 5'4" freshman number 2, Allison Now. The 5'7" senior number 3, Callista Zeman. The 5'9" junior number 13, Lauren Stetbacher. And the 5'6" senior number 21, Lucy Hughes. The Orioles are coached by
There you go. Those are the starters for the Orioles. Before we introduce you to the starters for the Vikings, let's let them introduce themselves.
Evelyn Davies, Faith Lutheran.
Anna Truman, St. John's Elmira.
Leah Tyson, Faith Lutheran.
McKenna Conkey, Redeemer.
Abby Cole, Faith Lutheran.
Lindsay Nell, Redeemer. Avery Superdan, Faith Lutheran.
Siri Kuski, St. John's Elmira. Audrey Schumacher, St. Paul's Mount Calvary.
Kira Shea, St. Paul's Mount Calvary.
Those are the starters for the Vikings, that's the lineup for the Vikings. If they started them all, they'd have a better record than what they do. And they have a pretty darn good record the way it is. Starters for the Vikings, we'll get to them in just a second. Let's start with the Orioles. Number 1, Lily Heidel is a 5'3" junior. They start a freshman here on varsity, do the Orioles. Number 2 is Allison Now, a 5'4" freshman for North Fondy. Number 3 is Callista Zemer, 5'7" senior. One more senior is Lucy Hughes. She's a 5'6" senior, wears number 21. And then rounding out the starting lineup is number 13, Lauren Stetbacher, 5'9" junior. 1 Heidel, 2 Now, 3 Zemer, 13 Stetbacher, and 21 Hughes. Starters for the Orioles. They're coached by WBCA Hall of Famer Gary Keel. Won a couple of state championships back in the late 90s, early 2000s. For the Vikings, Kiara Shea, Lindsay Nell, Siri Kuski, Leah Tyson, and Abby Cole has remained unchanged since Siri Kuski is coming back. 2 Shea, 5 Nell, 10 Kuski, 13 Tyson, 22 Abby Cole. 3 of them, check that, 4 of them juniors. 3 of them juniors, had it right the first time. And 2 seniors. Ready to jump this thing up, and we're underway here at the Academy. Tap from Abby Cole goes straight to Kiara Shea, and we're underway. Down underneath as the Vikings get a quick post touch for Lindsay Nell. Offensive rebound there right on cue. I mentioned it in the pregame. Abby Cole's a monster on the glass, and she earns her way to the free throw line, crashing the offensive glass hard there and then fouled on the putback attempt. Her first chance from the free throw line, and I don't think, at least it would not be expected, that the Vikings finish from the free throw line 23 for 27. Now, it takes a lot to shoot 27 free throws. The boys team did that last night and made 23 of them. First one goes down for Cole. Second one does not, but another offensive rebound down to Nell. Kick to Tukuski and ends up with Abby Cole. And a nice cut to the hoop. Kiera Shea is on the board here this evening. Good find from Abby. So Abby Cole's 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Also has that early assist to Kiera Shea. 3-0 lead for the Vikings. Stetbacher is the point guard, and she takes Kiera Shea right down the middle of the paint and finishes. Good spinning jump shot from Lauren Stetbacher. Her first points for the Orioles. And they cut the lead quickly back down to a point. They go into a trapping zone here. It's kind of a 2-3, but they tried to trap out of it at the start of this possession. Now in the corner. Nice skip pass from Nell. Good look down to Abby Cole. Cole's got 3. That was a beautiful cross-court pass from Lindsay Nell. And we've talked about it before. When Lindsay is passing the ball really well, these Vikings are really tough to stop. Just adds another dimension to her game specifically. Stetbacher goes off a screen, looks down to Now in the corner. She's guarded by Leah Tyson. Vikings remain in man-to-man. See that almost the entirety of the night, unless they maybe go a couple possessions in 1-3-1 if Coach Strafnagel thinks that they need it. That's tapped out of bounds. Good deflection from the Vikings, but stays with the Orioles. Underneath inbounds will be Stetbacher. Eric Strafnagel in his, I think it's his 6th season as the head coach. Maybe I'm short playing him there, but that feels right for Eric Strafnagel. I think at pretty quick here, he's going to be closing in on 100 wins. Maybe ask Chop Simmons about Coach Nell, who eclipsed his 100-win total earlier this season. Did that and win over Oakfield. Far side, this is Allison Now. Top of the key with Zemer. Back to Stetbacher. Now cuts through and has it. Dribbles back out to the corner off a screen. Switch. Kiera Shea's on her now. This is a good matchup. They're going to switch back. Stetbacher to Shea. Stetbacher middle of the paint. Floater up. No good. And offensive rebound fought for. And Lucy Hughes going to pick up a foul there on the loose ball. Hughes came flying in. Almost secured the offensive rebound, but in the process clattered into Lindsay Nell. And Nell secured the rebound anyway. Got a substitution coming in here, and we'll get this stoppage very quickly for Lillian Roberts. Another one of these freshmen. There are 2 of them on the varsity, Lillian Roberts and Allison Now. They're both out there right now, along with Lily Heidel and Stetbacher. Also out there is Callista Zemer. Here's Siri Kuski. Looks to skip pass down to the corner. 3 on the way. Kiera Shea buried it. Yes, sir. Kiera Shea's got 5. And it's a 6-point lead for the Vikings. Shea has really, that jump shot, what used to, I remember first year we called games here on WLA-TV. It was the year where the Vikings were, for my money, the best team in the state. And I don't see every team in the state, but I challenge you to find a better team than that Elena Supernan, Geneva Hewitt, Kaylee Fry, Riley Lair team. And Kiera Shea, I think, here's Leah Tyson, by the way. And Tyson hits the short corner jumper, and her first points of the night. The Vikes lead by 8. But what used to be kind of the weakest part of Kiera's game, she was always great defensively, always great ball handling, always great out in transition, made good passes. That 3-point jump shot was maybe the weak link. At one point that season, she shot it at 18%. Stetbacher misses that. But that is now a weapon for the Vikings, is the way that Kiera shoots the 3. Siri Kuski, miscommunication there with Lindsay Nell. Nell threw it out the back of the end zone, so to speak, and goes back over to the Orioles, who are trying to chip into an 8-point deficit right now. 14:27 to go first half. First time around, the Vikings took care of North Fond du Lac with relative ease up at North Fond du Lac. Got that win. Off the screen goes Stetbacher, and she dribbled it off her own foot, going back the other way. Good defensive switch. The Vikes against North Fond du Lac, I would expect them to switch every position. All 5 spots, I think the Vikes will probably switch, and makes them very tough to play offense against, that's for sure, and they're already pretty tough on the defensive side. Here's Siri Kuski. Lane opened up for her. She couldn't finish. Offensive rebound, and she shuffled the pivot feet there, and it's going to go back over to the other side. We talked to Siri last week on, I believe it was on Friday night during the boys basketball game against Laconia, and she expressed some frustration about the process of coming back from an injury, and happy she's just back out there though, and that's the right perspective to have. Here's Stetbacher. Drives past Abby Cole to the rim and just strong on that one. That was a beautiful cut and a nice step-through move from Stetbacher, but she was just a little bit strong on the finish. Here's Siri Kuski. Looks far side. That's Tyson. Leah almost traveled it there, but got the ball down in time. Here goes Abby Cole. Cole down the left side of the paint. Up with the left hand. No good. Offensive rebound collected by Abby. Kicks it out. Long 2. Rattles around. No good. And it's tapped out last by the Orioles. Going to stay with the Vikes on that far side inbounds. WLA's had some good looks here in this first half, but just 10 points to show for it. Here is Kiera Shea, kicks it back. Left wing is where the Vikes, I think, are most dangerous this season. Statistically, I believe that's true, but I haven't seen an update this week, so unless that's changed drastically. There goes Stetbacher. She's got 4. All 4 for the Orioles coming from Lauren Stetbacher. She's a 5'9" junior and pretty much does everything for the Orioles. Cole looks underneath, and that's stolen. And Nell's able to get it back, taps it over to Leah Tyson. Tyson misses, offensive rebound. There goes Nell, and she is hacked. Heads to the free throw line for a pair. I think it was Allison now, the freshman, who got her hand inside the passing lane, almost collected the steal, but unable to complete that. So Lindsay goes to the charity stripe, and that one's good. Second trip to the line for the Vikings. Into the game comes Anna Trewin and Avery Supernan. Talked to Lindsay and Avery last night during the boys' game, and you know, obviously this is an important game. You got to take care of business. Friday means nothing if you lose this game tonight. If you get upset by North Fond du Lac, it doesn't matter when Laconia comes to town. Now, I'm saying that obviously speaking in an extreme. That's an extreme statement. That's obviously not true. A little hyperbole there, but in terms of the conference race, you would not expect Laconia to drop another game. Here goes Stetbacher. Oh, she's got that floater going, and it just won't go for her right now. She is getting free inside the paint. Anna Trewin runs well. Blocked that time from Stetbacher, and a good rebound underneath by Jenna Krupp. Krupp's into the game for the first time, 5'8" junior, and fierce on that rebound attempt. But I think the Vikings know that, and certainly Coach Schaffnagel would not have let them forget that this is as important as Friday is to take care of every game in the conference outside of Friday. Helps with postseason seeding, and it does help keep them alive for a possible Flyway crown. Here goes Stetbacher. Offensive rebound. Can't get it to go. Comes up short. 8-point lead for the Vikings. Can they push it to double figures for the first time tonight? Here goes Supernan. Far side. Good ball movement. Left corner 3. On the way. Short. Offensive rebound left side. Lindsay Nell looks out top of the key. There's Abby Cole. Cole with a shot fake. Drives the lane. Needs a little help. Lobs it out to Nell. Nell drives now. Steps through. Floats in the lane and finishes. Nice take by Lindsay Nell. She's got 4. It's a 10-point Viking lead, and it's a timeout for North Fond du Lac. Just a 30-second timeout, so we're going to keep it right here. Get you updated on the scoring thus far. 5 for Kiera Shea, 4 for Lindsay Nell, 3 for Abby Cole, 2 for Leah Tyson. Lauren Stetbacher has all 4, of the points for the North Fond du Lac Orioles here this evening. 11:13 to play first half. And Coach Keel waiting for the deficit to reach double figures before pulling the trigger on the timeout there. Everything offensively so far for the Orioles has I shouldn't say everything, but a lot of it has gone through Stetbacher, and I think the Vikings knew that. I think that's why you see Kira Shea, that's why her assignment coming straight out of the gate here was on Stetbacher, and right now she's looking for Lauren Stetbacher, and she's not on the floor. So Kira will switch off to Lily Heidel. And Lily brings the ball into the front court, spins once, looks to the far side. Stolen there by Anna Trewin. Trewin's down the left side of the paint, had it poked away from behind. That was great defense in transition from Ella Oye. Apologies if I got that one wrong. Near side Krupp. Skip pass over to Now. Shot fake there, guarded by Supernan. Vikings switch it. Here's Shea guarding Now. Heidel goes off a screen, crosses again, down the lane she goes, floats it up, no good. Rebound on the near side, Kira Shea. Shea's got Nell out ahead of her. Oh, what a beautiful bounce pass. Nell can't get it to go. Offensive rebound, Kira Shea's got another. She's got 7. That was a gorgeous bounce pass to Nell, and Nell almost able to scoop that up, almost impossibly, into the hoop, but not able to. Here's Krupp on the far side wing. Kicks it over to Now, top of the key, 3 on the way. Oh, just about buried it. And the offensive rebound, Anna Trewin was standing out of bounds, so it'll stay with North Fondy. Man, that was almost down for Allison Now that time. Rattled around and just popped out. Stetbacher, after a quick break, will head back into the contest and inbound underneath. She has accounted for all the points for North Fondy tonight. Lily Heidel lobs it into Stetbacher, gets to the middle of the paint. There's that floater. It's just off tonight. A little bit strong. You can understand why Stetbacher can really fill it up. She gets to a good spot on the floor, and tonight, not really sure what it is, just not able to put it down. Here cutting through is Heidel. Heidel gets to the middle of the paint, can't get it to go. Stetbacher, another offensive board, strong on this attempt. Offensive rebound once again by Now. Bounce to Stetbacher. Cutting through is Heidel. Stetbacher wants to cross Kira Shea over and now takes the screen from Heidel. Heidel pops out to the Viking logo where she has it now. Screen from Stetbacher. Down the lane goes Heidel. Bodied by Anna Trewin, and a foul on the sophomore for the Vikings. First team foul. First foul, obviously, for Anna. And 9:21 to go first half. It'll be an underneath inbounds to trigger in for Stetbacher. Ends up with Ziemer. Hands off to Heidel. Hands off to Stetbacher. Little Princeton offense. Handoff offense going here. And Krupp lost it that time to Lindsay Nell. Nell into the front court down the left side. Nice crossover by Lindsay Nell. She's got 6. A good take on that far side. And Lindsay's been patient tonight. And that's when Lindsay is at her best. When lets the game come to her, and she is certainly doing that tonight, and it is coming in a hurry here with the 6 points, all coming on about the last 5 possessions or so for Lindsay. Here is Kira Shea. Kind of had the flyby going there. Bounces underneath. Lindsay up with the right hand. Count the basket plus the foul. The hoop and harm for Lindsay. She's got 8 now, leading the Vikings. Heidel picks up the personal foul. It's her first. We'll get the crowd mic unmuted here. Sorry about that. Lindsay's second trip to the line. She's 1 for 1. You know, last night, Gannon Schwartz went 10 for 12 from the free throw line. And so I jokingly asked him today at school, I said, you going to teach the girls as a collective unit do not shoot the free throw very well. And the boys, on the other hand, they really do. I mean, we'll get to that maybe sometime down the road here in this game. But the charity stripe has not been so charitable to the Vikings this year. Here goes Stetbacher. That's from the free throw line. Doesn't go. And the rebound down to Abby Cole. Abby dribbles it off the foot of one of the North Fondy players. Gets it up ahead to Conkey. Conkey throws it underneath. Miscommunication. She was looking for Siri Kuski. Kuski cut right as soon as she threw it, and it went out of bounds. Vikes still have a 17-point lead. North Fondy trying to get someone into the scoring column other than Lauren Stetbacher. who's got both buckets so far. Here is Zemer. Callista Zemer. There's Stetbacher again. Uses the Zemer screen. Looks far side to Heidel. Now, nice bounce underneath Zemer. That won't go. Offensive rebound by Now. Way to keep the pivot foot there and not travel, but it's poked away. Abby Cole has a steal. Down the right side, she goes up high off the glass. No good. Rebound down to Zemer. Outlet pass up ahead to Heidel. Heidel's into the front court like a blur. We'll call it a pass. I think it dribbled off her own foot, but straight to a teammate. This is Stetbacher in the corner. Guarded now by McKenna Conkey. She gets to that right side. Up off the glass. No good. She got hit in the face that time. No whistle. Evelyn Davies is into the game for the Vikes. Takes it. Bounce pass down to Kuski. Back out to Cole. No good. Missed it off to the left. A little bit strong on the three-point attempt. And the Viking lead remains 17. This is Heidel. That won't go. There is a lid on the bucket tonight for North Fond du Lac, but they just won themselves another possession. Good hustle by Allison. Now poking it last off of Avery Supernant. Avery's going to take a seat as Leah Tyson comes in. Tough, tricky spot here for the Orioles to try to inbound it from. Down there deep in the corner. 7 minutes and 6 seconds left in the first half. Reminder at halftime, Chop Simmons will join us from the boys basketball team. It's a big game for them tomorrow. They go to Springs, and now the Vikings, I think it's a pipe dream at this point. In fact, they might already be statistically eliminated from Flyway Conference championship contention. I'm not doing that math right now mid-game, but there is, perhaps that's the case. I'm not sure. Here is Zemer, and couldn't get that one to go. Abby Cole down with the rebound up ahead, and the Vikes throwing another one away. That's got to be about turnover 6 or 7, as they have been wild with the basketball here early. Still have a 17-point lead. But still, with the Vikings, they've had some momentum. It's been stunted a little lately with the losses to Kiel and then that loss to Laconia. But, and you had the 108 points you gave up to Amro. That notwithstanding as well. They've had their better share of it since the midway point. And if they could get a win over a Springs or another win over a Campbellsport or get Mayville the next time through. That's a foul on the ground. No, will not go. Heidel made it, but it doesn't count. Underneath inbounds for North Fond du Lac as they got Siri Kuski on the bump. Good call there. Underneath. But Vikings trying to get some momentum, and that's a tough place to go play is at Springs. They can fill it up. They go about, they probably go a dozen deep. Nice cut by Heidel, and Heidel scores. That was a beautifully worked inbounds play. Heidel cut hard to the hoop and finished. Right wing, down to the right corner with Leah Tyson. Here's Abby Cole at the high post. Good cut by Lindsay Nell, straight to the hoop, and she finishes. Good look from Abby Cole. And a 30-second timeout before the defensive possession for Coach Schaffnagel. He loves to do that. He loves that timeout before a defensive possession, and when you have a defensive group like he does year in and year out, why not? When you got a defensive player that anchors it like Kira Shea, why wouldn't you? Nell is into double figures. She's got 11 points, 3 for 3 from the free throw line. In fact, the Vikings have started very well from the line. They're 4 of 5. And I guess now would be as good a time to tell. Maybe I shouldn't bring up bad statistics unprompted, but here I go. The Vikings from the free throw line, Kira Shea 62%, Lindsay Nell 57%, Abby Cole 57.5%, Siri Kuski 53%, Avery Supernand is 75%, but that's 3 of 4. Leah Tyson 50, McKenna Conkey 50, Audrey Schumacher is 7 for 8 this year. Anna Trewin 52. So you get the picture. It's not quite what the boys do from the charity stripe. So tongue in cheek. Obviously the girls are playing extremely well this year, but always room for improvement, right? So had a little fun with the boys and their unbelievable shooting night last night from the free throw line. I tell you what, I've never and probably will never see a team get 27 attempts from the line and shoot above 85%. Here's the Vikings in that 1-3-1. I said we might see it. Coach Schroffnagel takes the timeout, and the Vikings come out in it. They get a deflection, and they get a steal. No, they do not get a steal. Well, now they do. Here's Abby Cole, trapped near half court. Switched pivot feet. Could have been a travel. Should have been a travel. Here is Lindsay Nell down underneath, and Kira Shea has it poked away from behind. Last off Shea. Good defense that time from Lily Heidel, who helped down, poked it off of Shea. And it goes back over to the Orioles. Beautiful defense that time. And good hustle by Lucy Hughes, by the way, who saved a basket easily. Here's Kira Shea poking it away from behind and finishing at the rim. Last time these teams played, Kira had her career-high 33 points. Pokes it away from behind once again. Steal completed by Lindsay Nell. She's hounded in the backcourt by Zemer, but able to break that pressure and finds Leah Tyson. Top of the key, Kuski looks for Shea down in the corner. Good patience by the Vikings. Shea was open, could have hit that. Instead, wants something a little bit easier. No, never mind, she doesn't. She's going to fire up the three from the near side. That rebound is down on the far side with Allison now, and she's into the front court. This is Heidel, poked out by Lindsay Nell. Wasn't sure if that was going to tiptoe the line or if that was going to indeed get out of bounds. It did. So Stetbacher will once again toss it in for North Fondy. Vikes stay in the 1-3-1. Maybe just get a live rep with this. As Stetbacher misses the three, she was strong on it. Kira Shea with the long rebound and beats everyone down the floor. Kira Shea's got 11. Both Shea and Nell with 11 points. They have 22 of the 27 points for the Vikings so far. We got a timeout on the floor. We're going to take it with them. With 4:17 to go in the first half, the Vikes are starting to roll a little bit. 27-6. Back with more after this. Stay with us. Coming out of this timeout, the Vikings lead it by 21. That is their largest lead of the ball game. 4 minutes and 17 seconds left till halftime, as the Vikings going to stay in what is currently an extended 1-3-1. Kira Shea's just going to be a pest in the backcourt. By the way, I don't know if I got permission, but Kira knows that I affectionately call her a pest on the floor. It's one of the biggest compliments I think you can give with the way she plays defense. It's like when I say that Chop Simmons doesn't shut up. That's a good thing. That's a compliment, so don't take that out of context. Don't tweet that at him and tell him that I'm talking mess on him. That's not true. Here goes Abby Cole down the paint. I know you never would do that. And Abby finishes at the rim. Beautiful take from Abby. And she's got 5 here in this first half. Quiet half for Abby, but you got a couple of teammates that have 11. Certainly kind of erases that. Zemer got free. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound on the far side is Abby Cole. Collects that one. And near side, there goes Lindsay Nell. Shovels it back to Cole. She wants a 3. Has not shot the 3 as well as she had last year, for sure, for the Vikings, has Abby Cole. But I got a feeling at some point that's going to click for her, as it did last year. Foul on Lindsay Nell here. She picks up the foul on Allison now. Little too over-aggressive on the trap. And inside inbounds, it's going to be Lillian Geckerman, the 5'6" senior, who's into the game for her first action, and she'll toss it in for North Fondy. WLA stays in the 1-3-1. Into the ball game is Avery Supernan, and Avery kind of fell asleep there. She almost was acting like it was a 2-3 zone, and she stayed down, didn't close out, free three, and not hurt that time as now couldn't get the follow-up to go. Evelyn Davies also into the front court. She saves that one from going out of bounds. Bounce pass down to Abby Cole. Looks back to the corner. Evelyn has it there. This is Avery Supernan working against a 2-3 zone from North Fondy. And it ends up with Abby Cole. Shot fake there. Back to Nell. Nell with the shot fake. She drives the paint. Kicks it back out. That's a good look for three, and it comes up short. I don't know if that hit anything for Abby, but the offensive rebound still came to Kiera Shea. Gets it underneath, and that is Abby Cole to a tee. She just never stops working. Like the Energizer Bunny. Well, that is maybe when you play with Kiera Shea, maybe that's that role is already taken up. But Abby just kept working after she could not get that three to fall, and did a nice job to follow it up. She's got 7 now. 31-6 as the Vikings come out and trap. Gets the ball into the corner, does North Fond du Lac. Krupp looks to the high post, and another foul there. 2 in a row, 2 in about 5 seconds on Kiera Shea. And underneath inbounds for North Fond du Lac. That is the 5th team foul, 2nd on Shea. Both of them, as I mentioned, coming on the last play. Geckerman cuts through. Instead, it goes to Now. Now with a couple of jab steps and looking to get free. She can't get too far into that zone because when you get in there by Abby Cole and Lindsay Nell, it becomes very difficult to pass. Nell, check that. Cole's got the steal here. Up ahead to Nell. Retreat dribble by Lindsay. She's going to stop, pop, and hit. Beautiful from Lindsay Nell. Good patience. She's got 13. Last year, I think we would have seen Lindsay really take that to the rim and into the double team. Now misses the three. This year, Lindsay has really added that patience to her game. And, you know, as every player does, there's still times where maybe she rushes things a little bit. That's out of bounds, goes back to the Vikings. Good hustle by Krupp, couldn't keep it in. But when Lindsay Nell, I mentioned it earlier in the game, when she lets the game come to her, when she's patient, she is a very, very dangerous offensive player. So 33-6, 27-point lead for the Vikes, and Evelyn Davies will assume the point guard role for the Vikings as Kiera Shea goes to the bench. Conkey almost threw that away. It was poked out last, I believe, by Heidel, so it'll stay with the Vikings, and Avery Supernan will try to key it in from the baseline with 1 minute and 5 seconds left in the first half. Once again, Chop Simmons, final reminder, is going to be joining us at halftime. Hope you'll stick around with us as we'll hear from the Vikings big man. Far side, Evelyn Davies keying up the three. Looks good, but comes up off to the right and misses. Rebound was down to Lindsay Nell. The Vikings keep it on the deflection from Lily Heidel. Here is Nell. Dribbles into a double team, kicks it to the corner. 3 ball on the way. That misses from Avery Supernan. Offensive rebound to Anna Trewin. And just a little rush there from Anna. It was a good idea, but had she just held on to that for just a half second longer, maybe give Avery a chance to kind of reestablish herself in the play. She had just shot the ball, so a little off balance. Far side for the Orioles. This is Roberts. Now Zemer. Zemer to the short corner. Shot fake there. Back to Roberts. Hands off to Heidel this time. Down the lane she goes. Can't get it to go. Nice box out that time from Anna Trewin. Up ahead to Avery Supernan. Avery drives the paint and a good deflection. Avery gets it back and finishes. That was not for, almost a punishment for Allison Now having good effort there. She just couldn't find a teammate after she was able to steal that from behind and then save the ball, and it just went straight to Avery Supernan. That's going to end this first half with a 29-point Viking lead, 35-6 at the intermission. The Vikings have the lead. We're going to take a quick timeout, reset here, come back with Chop Simmons here at the halftime intermission. Hope you'll stay with us. You're listening Viking basketball on WLA-TV. We're back here halftime, 35-6. The Vikings taking care of business against North Fond du Lac here. We'll get you the numbers in just a second, but as promised, we got Chop Simmons joining us. Chop, thanks for taking a few minutes. I know, sporting events are social engagement, so thanks for taking a few minutes and talking with us tonight.
No problem.
First of all, where's the nickname Chop come from?
When I was in like second grade and stuff like that, I used to like pork chops all the time.
Okay.
And like now I just don't like them. So like, I don't know. It's just something my dad gave me.
All the way. There you go. Ate too many of them, and now you don't like them anymore.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna start it. We'll start it kind of later here. Over the course of the season, Coach Nell picked up his 100th win. I saw a tweet that you tweeted out saying that no one else you'd rather be coached with by Coach Nell and Coach Schwartz. Just talk about those two coaches and what they've meant to you in your development over your basketball career.
Well, when I came in as a freshman, I didn't expect to play varsity or anything like that, and they brought me onto like the team just shoot up for varsity, and they made me feel part of the team and stuff like that. And that's what really started it. And then my sophomore year, I played only varsity. And they just made me feel like I was welcome no matter what. And they always talked to me if like something was wrong or anything like that. And I knew I could always go to them if I needed something. Like even if it wasn't part of basketball, I know I could count on one of them.
That's awesome. Obviously they've built a really awesome program here. But this junior class has been a big part of it. Sam and Noah and you. And you can go down the list with all of these guys that have been big parts of this program. What's it been like for you to be able to play with Noah and Sam and some of your classmates and help build this program and maybe leave it in a better place than you found it?
Man, it's been really fun. We've been playing. I've been playing with them since my 8th grade year, but they've been all playing together, man, since probably about 2nd grade. It's really fun playing with Noah and Sam. They both can score at all 3 levels. Noah rebounds really well. Sam is really good at defense and facilitating our offense. And we bring in those guys like Gannon Schwartz off of. He's a freshman this year. He's got some work to do, obviously, but he's good. He's a good kid. He's developing pretty well.
You guys are going to push him in the weight room, right?
Oh, for sure.
Get him bulked up. Okay. Well, the one guy you didn't mention what he brings to the table is you. I think the most impressive thing that you bring to the table is communication and leadership. It seems like you're the vocal leader for this team. What's the process for that for you? Like, what's your mindset going into a game on what you want to bring for the team?
Well, so our team's like kind of quiet and stuff like that. So, I don't really care what anybody thinks about me on the court. So, I'll just talk as much as I want. And sometimes it gets a little out of hand and stuff like that. But then like teams don't really realize it. But if like I'm not talking like that, Coach Dell will just bring me over to the bench and be like, we got to get the guys going. And as soon as I start talking, all the other guys will start talking like that. And it's just a good time out there then.
Big, definitely on the defensive side of the floor. Seems like that's where things kind of start for you. Defense, you're one of the best rebounders in the conference, 9.6, 10, somewhere around 10 rebounds per game. It seems like the hustle plays are what get you going.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Those are always fun because as soon as you get a hustle play, you feel all the excitement from like the crowd and stuff like that, and your teammates are all hyped, and it just makes you feel good about yourself.
You're a 3-sport athlete. You're gonna do. I assume you're gonna do track again in the spring.
Oh yeah.
And get yourself ready for football again. What's the mindset for you as a 3-sport athlete in a world that I asked this to Avery and Lindsay last night, who are both 3-sport athletes, in a world that says, well, if you want to be a good basketball player, just play basketball, or you just want to be a football player, just play football. Why do you play 3 sports? Why do you think that's important for you?
Well, if you only play one sport, like you can only play with your friends. You only have 4 years of high school.
Sure.
So I'd rather play 3 sports in high school. If I want to play one for the rest of my life in like college and stuff like that, I can always do that in college. But right now I'm just having fun with my friends and just working as hard as I can to make the teams better and stuff like that.
I remember when this class came in, because it was my first year at WLA, and you guys, this freshman class came in, and I remember someone saying, man, we're going to have a whole offensive and defensive line just with this class. And you and Sebi and Oscar and Alec Oberg, and I'm sure I'm forgetting someone in the Ethan. You guys got some heavy hitters up front, and then you add Noah, and you add Sam, who's the quarterback, and you add Schumacher, and all of these guys. What's it looking? Obviously, you guys are in the midst of basketball. I'm sure you aren't really detailed looking at next football season, but there's got to be I mean, I see you guys here lifting in the morning. Seems like next football season, basketball season, you guys want your senior year to be something special.
Yeah, we do. I mean, guys like Noah right now, Noah Schumacher, he's not playing any winter sports, so he's in the weight room every single day. He'll probably take 1 or 2 days off every week, but he's just working as hard as he can to get the team better come this fall. And I mean, he plays baseball too, so I mean, he won't be able to lift as much then, but I mean, it helps for baseball too. And then Sam, I mean, he's our quarterback, but he's probably one of the biggest guys on our team.
Sure.
And then all the rest of it, we're all in the weight room. We all want it really bad for our senior year.
That's awesome. Last question for you. When you want people to think of your basketball team or think of you as a basketball player, what do you want them to think of? What word do you want them to come? If someone says, define Chop Simmons and how he plays basketball or football or whatever with one word, what do you want that word to be?
Hardworking for sure.
Why is that?
I mean, I just try to all right, so say, Coach Nell always says this. Say there's a kid out in the stands and he notices you, something like that, and he tells his dad about you. It's going to be because you're hardworking. It might be because you're scoring and stuff like that, but you might just see your hustle and stuff like that. I mean, I just want people to know that I'm always working hard and stuff like that, because obviously that shows and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think that's a good characteristic on the basketball court, the football field, everywhere you are.
It is. It is a very good trait to have. Chop, I appreciate it. It's been a blast watching you guys. Best of luck. I know it's a tough one on Thursday.
Yeah.
But this is also a league that we've seen so far that anyone can beat anyone if you play your best basketball. Best of luck going into a tough game on Thursday against Spring.
All right, thank you.
There you go. That's Chop Simmons. I really do appreciate these guys joining us here at halftime. And we'll say take a quick break, come back with more. We'll give you the stats here at halftime. Chop Simmons, everybody. The boys play on Thursday at St. Mary's Springs Academy. Back with more after this. Back here at WLA TV, quick break. I am increasingly impressed with the kids that we get to talk to and how well-spoken they are. Chop Simmons there. Talked to Siri Kuski last week. Talked to Sam Lair. These guys they sound like pros. I would have been stumbling. I still stumble over my words. You guys know that if you listen to WLA TV at all. But thanks to Chop for joining us. A lot of good stuff there from him. Let's get you some numbers here at halftime. The 6 points scored for North Fond du Lac, 4 from Lauren Stetbacher, 2 from Lily Heidel. Vikes did a really nice job defensively there in that first half and made things tough underneath for the Orioles. For WLA, 2 points for Avery Supernand, 2 for Leah Tyson, 7 for Abby Cole, 11 for Kira Shea, and Lindsay Nell led the Vikings with 13 points there in that first half. Halftime score of 35-6. Last minute and a half of halftime. Hope you had some entertainment, got something out of that interview with Chop. That was a blast for me, I know that. I'm really enjoying it. Hopefully we can find another one of the boys basketball players to talk to halftime of the Laconia game coming up on Friday. We're going to take a minute break, come back with more. Second half on the way. WLA leads it by 27. Stay with us. I have never claimed to be a mathematician. It's 29 points. That's not hard math either. But, here we are. 35-6. Halftime score for the Vikings with the lead. And they are going to come back out man-to-man defense here to start the second half. Stetbacher has it for the Orioles. Looks near side. This is Ziemer, who drives against Kuski. Top of the key, this is Hughes. And looks far side to Heidel. Between the legs dribble. She drives up against Lindsay Nell and Abby Cole. And the rebound on the far side is fought for and tied up. Yeah, they got the jump ball called, so tied up underneath. And it goes back over to the Vikings. So very quickly, our first jump ball, 20-some seconds into that second half. Here goes Kuski, looks to the corner. Ooh, I think Leah Tyson had an opportunity there from the short corner to hit a jumper. That was blocked underneath, and the Vikings able to steal it back, straight back to Cole. Can't get it to go. Offensive rebound, and getting fouled goes Leah Tyson to the free throw line. Abby Cole had it underneath, got it blocked. Vikings able to poke it away, steal it right back for Abby, and then the offensive rebound and put back was fouled from Leah Tyson. First free throw rattles around and down for Leah. I had to say something. Just had to say something about the girls not matching the boys. Offensive rebound here from from Abby Cole once again. That free throw missed, so let's see here. 5 for 7 now from the line for the Vikings. Here is Stetbacher. Around a screen, down the lane, and finishes. Good cut and nice drive from Lauren Stetbacher. She's got 6. Down the lane goes Lindsay Nell. Can't get it to go. Offensive rebound again for Abby Cole. Another one. She's filling it up from the offensive glass. She's fouled that time and goes to the line where she's 1 for 2. Just the effort of Abby Cole on the glass to give herself a couple extra chances at that one. And now from the line. First free throw for Abby is good. 8 points tonight for Abby. And trying to extend this to a 30-point advantage. That one misses, so Abby remains 50% from the line tonight. And into the front court comes Lauren Stetbacher. Shovels it to Now. Now hands to Hughes. And Stetbacher recollects. Heidel. Now. Stetbacher. Trying to force these Vikings into communication situations. Are they going to switch? Are they going to fight through? Are they going to... Vikings are switching almost everything. And that's kind of the point of that offense. You want to run those screens back and forth, try to make them make a mistake. And the Vikings are so used to switching everything that I think they're maybe better apt to defend that than most. Down to the corner, this is Now. Shot fake there. Nice, long, patient possession for the Orioles this time. Stetbacher left wing. 3 on the way. She buried it. The 3 from Lauren Stetbacher. She's got 9 of the 11 for the Orioles. Here is Leah Tyson. Gets it underneath. Here goes Abby Cole. Steps through. No good. Offensive rebound. Abby Cole back up with it. No good. Blocked that time from Stetbacher. Rebound cleared from Ziemer. Shovels it to Stetbacher. And the Orioles are back the other way. Now has it in the corner. Dribble drive against Tyson. Up and lost control of it on the way up. Last off of Abby Cole, so it stays with the Orioles. It was a great drive to the hoop from Allison Now, and she just lost it on the way up to the rim. That was almost batted away, but saved by Ziemer. Gives it to Heidel. Little action underneath, gets Now open, and she finds Stetbacher. A right wing 3 this time. This one is no good. Offensive rebound, and Now is going to be fouled. Nice hustle by Allison Now. Gonna earn another possession for the North Fond du Lac Orioles. WLA is going to take a timeout. Stetbacher, by the way, averages 13.8 points per game, now with 9.3 points per game. Full timeout for the Vikings, 26-point lead. We're going to take a timeout with them, come back with more after this. Check that. They switched it off. They must have switched that off to a 30-second timeout, so we're going to keep it right here. $14:59 to play here tonight. And the Vikes will look forward to Friday night. If they can get the win here tonight, it will set up assuming that Laconia gets the win wherever they are this evening, would set up a 10-0 versus 9-1 situation. Here goes Stetbacher. Kind of wild on that one thrown up. She thought she was fouled. No whistle was forthcoming. Here goes Kiera Shea. Shovels it off to Abby Cole. That's blocked. Pass was tapped away by Callista Zemer. And Heidel is now running the show for North Fondy. Stetbacher crosses middle of the paint, still hounded by Shea. Looks to the corner. This is a long two, but it's good for Lily Heidel. Had her foot on the line, but nice looking jump shot from Heidel. Goes down. She's got 4. So Heidel and Stetbacher remain the only 2 that have scored tonight for the Orioles. Here is Siri Kuski. Underneath, spins to the hoop. Offensive rebound, Abby Cole. And she cannot get those to go. She's getting the offensive rebounds almost below the hoop. And just a little bit too close to the baseline. Kiera Shea goes straight up and down. No foul forthcoming. And the tie-up arrow is going to stay with the Orioles. Coach Keel cannot believe how that wasn't a foul. It did look like Kiera Shea did a nice job of backing up and going straight up into the air. Stetbacher kind of jumped into Kiera Shea. I've seen it called, though. Could have an argument on that. Stetbacher misses that one after she curled off a screen. Abby Cole looks up ahead, gets it to Nell. Lindsey Nell scoops it up, and I thought that was going to roll in. Instead, offensive rebound, Leah Tyson kicks it out. 3 on the way. Oh, Siri Kuski with a 3. That's kind of an unlikely place for that to come from. Siri Kuski hitting the triple. Does not shoot many threes and does not make many threes, although you got to shoot threes to make them. And I think Siri knows that's probably not her game, at least the most efficient part of her game. And the Vikings lead once again by 27 points. Here is Callista Zemer. Looks far side to now. Back out top of the key, Heidel. Heidel goes off a screen, and she's fouled by Abby Cole. Second team foul for the Vikings. As Cole hedged up on that screen and picked up the personal foul. Lily Heidel has the ball, top of the key, looks near side. This is Lillian Roberts, back to Heidel. Heidel, the hook shot is good. Threw it up over her right shoulder and got it to go. 25-point lead for the Vikings now. Kuski has it. There is Abby Cole. Looks far side. Another steal. Stetbacher into the passing lane. Up ahead and now finishes at the rim. Her first points of the night. Allison now running the floor well. And this is a nice little spurt that the Orioles are on and going to prompt a couple of substitutions for the Vikings coach Schroffnagel as Lindsey Nell almost lost control there. The Vikings doing this with their starters out there as well, so a little bit disappointing here to let North Fondy go on a run. Here is Siri Kuski, shovels it out to Leah Tyson, lobbed back over to Lindsey Nell, trying to stop the run, and she does. Lindsey Nell buries it. Second 3 of the half for the Vikings, second 3 in as many possessions for the Vikings. 43-17 now. Here goes Heidel back down the paint. Count the basket and the foul. Lily Heidel has come alive here in this second half. She's got 6 of her 8 points, and she goes to the charity stripe right now. Anna Trewin and Avery Supernan back on the floor for the Vikings. Heidel cannot get the free throw to go. It's the first free throw of the night for North Fondy, and it's poked out. I was going to say Stetbacher hit it last, and that's a good job by the officials to get together and get the right call. Here's Kirachet. High post to Abby Cole. Shovels it off to Nell. High looks to the top of the key there to Anna Trewin. Vikings have had a couple of times tonight where they've had players cut through and they end up in the same spot. Here's Avery Supernan with a beautiful cut, found well by Kirachet. But that time, earlier in the set, Abby Cole made a cut, as did Anna Trewin, and they ended up on the block together. And just not clicking on all cylinders necessarily here in this second half. Really tonight, the Vikings have not been at their most efficient. Down lane goes Heidel. She can't get it to go. Tapped out by the Vikings last, and it stays with North Fondy. Now comes back into the game. She'll replace Heidel. Stetbacher will key it in. Gets it to Roberts. Top of the key, Krupp looks back into Stetbacher. That's a beautifully run inbounds play, and Stetbacher finishes. She has 11 now. First North Fond du Lac player into double figures. Got it all the way around, and then Stetbacher cut back through. She was the one who threw it in and then had a double screen for her back to the center of the paint. There's a nice pass from Nell to Abby Cole, and Abby just cannot find the bottom of the hoop here in this second half. She's got one from the free throw line. There's a chase down block. Lindsay Nell. Up ahead goes Shea to Cole, and Cole finishes that one. Abby Cole finally able to get one to go. She's into double figures with 10 points. She's had several opportunities underneath. Here goes Stetbacher. Lost it on the way up. Still able to throw it towards the rim, and it goes in. 13 points for Lauren Stetbacher. The lead for the Vikings remains at 24 points. Here's Lindsay Nell. Drives baseline. Gets to the rim. Blocked. Offensive rebound and a finish. Nell's got 5 here in the second half and has 18 points tonight. 49-23 with 9:53 to play. Here's Allison now, near side with Krupp. This is Roberts. Back to now, 3 on the way, buried it. Allison now has 5 points in the second half, and the lead is down to 23. Here's Avery Supernan in the corner, back out to Lindsay Nell. Gets it down to Abby Cole. Cole has it poked away on the pass. Looking for Avery Supernan. Stetbacher's trying to go coast to coast. Drives against Shea. Offensive foul going back the other way. Kiera beat her to the spot, and going back to the Vikings goes the basketball. Couple of subs will come in. McKenna Conkey for the Vikings, and Lucy Hughes checks in for the Orioles. Nine minutes and 20 seconds left to play here tonight. The Vikings will get a couple opportunities to clean some things up in practice tomorrow and Thursday before hosting one of the best teams in the state. Here goes Avery Supernan. That was an aggressive move from Avery, almost able to get it to go. Avery is starting to play with some more confidence, and the Vikings certainly need that. Here goes Jenna Krupp down the lane, and finish for Jenna Krupp. She's got 2. She's a 5'8" junior. Very good soccer player as well. Know that from my time with the WA soccer program. Jenna Krupp, part of a up and coming over the last couple of years Orioles soccer program. That's poked, I think, last off of Lindsay Nell. No, they're going to say Allison now got it last, so Avery Supernan will get another chance to try to key this in, and the Vikings up by 21. They were up by 29 at halftime. That's poked away from Shea from behind. She recollects, gets it to Supernan. Nice pass underneath to Lindsay Nell, but Nell can't get it to go. Tied up underneath, and it stays with the Vikings, but Abby Cole, and maybe, here's some more evidence to there being maybe some saran wrap or something on that hoop. I mean, North Fondy could could not get a thing underneath on that side. Now the Vikings having the same problem, most specifically Lindsey Nell and Abby Cole. Here's Nell, nice cut found by Shea, and Nell finishes. She's got 20. Excellent offensive night for Lindsey Nell, and she really has not forced anything. Here's a three from Stetbacher. That misses. Rebound down to Nell. Poe just stolen away by Now, and Heidel can't finish. Allison Now just took it away from Lindsey Nell. Here's a long two from Lauren Stetbacher. And Stetbacher's all the way up to 15 points. 30-second timeout for North Fondy. We're going to take it with them. Final 8 minutes coming up next. Coming out of the timeout, 51-30 is the score. Far side, Anna Trewin dribbling against Heidel, gets the ball to the high post with Nell, looks to Supernan, cross-court pass to Shea, missed the shot. Rebound was down to Hughes, and up ahead come the Orioles on offense. It's Now on the wing, tries to hand off to Stetbacher. She's hounded by Shea. Unable to get Stetbacher the ball. And now they get the switch, and maybe Stetbacher will try to drive on Anna Trewin. She does. Floater comes up short. Kicked out to Heidel. Heidel drives the lane, and she traveled. Going back the other way, Viking basketball. Into the ball game, Evelyn Davies, Abby Cole, Siri Kuski return. They join Kira Shea and McKenna Conkey on the floor. Bounce pass to the high post with Abby Cole. That was kind of a no-look pass that time from Abby down to the corner with Siri Kuski. Here's Cole. Skip pass, fake. Oh, and blocked underneath. Stetbacher's got another block. She's got several of those tonight. Here goes Shea down the lane, up high off the glass. No good. Rebound fought for. Stetbacher's got it now into the front court. Poked away from behind Kira Shea. Able to erase the possession and force an underneath inbounds play for the Orioles, with the Vikings holding on to their 21-point lead. 6 minutes and 47 seconds left. Here's Heidel. A three ball for Hughes, and it misses. Lucy Hughes came up short on that one. On the far side, Vikings making their way up the court. Into the middle of the paint, Abby Cole turns and hits the floater. Abby's got a dozen. And Stetbacher will reinitiate this time with a 23-point Viking lead this time now. Top of the key, Stetbacher. Working on Shea, kicks it out to Now. This is Heidel. Shot fake, pass Davies, down the lane. Oh, spun it off the glass. Sweet move from Lily Heidel. And she's into double figures. She's got 10. That was a terrific take to the hoop. Here goes Siri Kuski getting her underneath positioning. Offensive rebound after the miss from Kuski was Abby Cole. Cole got fouled. It was on the floor. Lucy Hughes whistled for the fouls. Lillian Roberts comes back in, as does Lindsey Nell. Nell replaces Conkey. And Hughes replaces, check that, Roberts replaces Hughes. And Lindsey Nell came up just short. She just put her hand on her mouth. She almost couldn't believe that she found a way to airball it from that close of range. Just kind of one of those where I think she was expecting contact, and it never came. And one of those where you think you got the right power on it, and you just don't, and that happens. If I made fun of anyone for airballing it, that would be the most hypocritical thing in the world. I think I airballed more shots than I made. Vikings coming back the other way. Here's Kiera Shea up with the left hand. She's fouled and will go to the charity stripe. Shea working on an 11-point night. And Heidel picks up the foul that time. First free throw no good for Kiera. Lindsay Nell's 3 for 3. Everyone else for the Vikings is 50%. We'll see if Kiera can join them. She misses both, so she is 0 for 2. Offensive rebound again to Abby Cole. Gets it back out. Shea can't hit it. Rebound fought for. There's Evelyn Davies with an offensive rebound. Lindsay Nell on the wing. She's under pressure from Stetbacher. Lobbed in from Kuski to Cole, down to the corner. Shea's going to go baseline, lob it up there, no good. Offensive rebound again, Abby Cole. One power dribble, middle of the paint, and the left-handed hook shot is good. Abby Cole with a nice finish, 14 for her. 23-point lead for the Vikings, 4:51 to play. This is Heidel, top of the key with Zemer. Now with Roberts. Back through comes now. Heidel circles through. She floats it up and scores. Lily Heidel has 10 points here in the second half, and she has a dozen on the night. Another pass is thrown away by the Vikings. I'm not so sure Coach Strafnagel is super thrilled with what he's seen tonight. It's been a little bit of a, especially in the second half, the Vikings were up 35-6 at halftime. They still have a commanding lead, 21-point lead, but have lost this second half as it stands currently against a North Fondy team that came out with a lot of fight in this second frame. Here is Heidel. Looks underneath. Poked away by Siri Kuski. Nice play by Siri. Here's Abby Cole. Looks up ahead to Shea. Shea with a nice pump fake for the blow-by. Offensive rebound, Abby Cole again. She's going to have a double-double with offensive rebounds alone. And they're going to say Lindsay Nell was shooting as she was fouled. She'll go to the free throw line where she's perfect tonight. Abby Cole's got to have 10 offensive rebounds, maybe in this half alone. First free throw for Lindsay is good. She looks very comfortable and confident from the line right now. It is no messing around. It is just instinctual at the line. It is what it looks like for Lindsay. One dribble, shoot the jump shot essentially, and it's good. She's 5 for 5 from the free throw line. Adds a 3 and a bunch of 2s, and that's how Lindsay Nell got her way up to 22 points here tonight. Check that. Might be 24. I'll confirm that with you in a second. Here goes now. Down the left side. Can't get it to go. And a foul is whistled out near the perimeter. And Abby Cole picks up a foul. Allison now will go to the free throw line. 22 points for Abby Cole, or for Lindsay Nell confirmed. Now hits the front end of the 2-shot foul and makes both. So now is up to 7 points, and the lead is back to 21. Here's Abby Cole, near side Siri Kuski, going to use a Cole screen, get to the middle of the paint. Now going to go down the right-hand side and poked away. Nice play there by Heidel to poke that away, and she's got it now in the backcourt. Into the front court now, between the circles, shovels near side with now. This is Oye. Back to Heidel. Now open for 3. Looks good, buried it. Allison now's got 10. Couple of threes she's hit here in this second half. As a team, North Fondy's hit 3 of them in the second half. Here goes Abby Cole down the middle of the paint. She is fouled hard, and Abby took a tumble but pops right back up. Takes a little bit more to keep Abby knocked down. And she's going to try to build on a 14-point night from the free throw line. 2 minutes and 43 seconds left in this one. The Vikings comfortably lead by 18. Abby's first is no good. She is 2 for 5 from the free throw line. And Avery Supernand is checked in right now, waiting to come in for Abby. Should Abby make this free throw? Callista Zemer back in, by the way. 5'7" senior returns for the Orioles. And the second free throw looks better from Abby, and it is good. So 50% on the night for Abby. That's about standard operating procedure for the Vikings from the free throw line. 58-39. This is Heidel. Heidel bounces to Roberts, who gives it back underneath, and a finish. The reverse layup for Lily Heidel. And a timeout for Coach Keel. He's going to take a full timeout. We are also going to take a full timeout. Vikings lead by 17. With about 2:28 to read, left. Return with us here on WLA-TV. Second horn there coming out of the timeout. 58-41, 2:28 to play. Vikings have been led tonight by Lindsay Nell, who has 22 points. And the timeout there from Coach Keel was to put on the full court press as the Vikings have all their subs into the game. 17 points, see if they can chip that closer to 10 and maybe force the hand of Coach Schraffnagel to put some of the starters back in, perhaps. Here is Avery Supernand, tied up, no traveled. Nice play defensively from Lily Heidel to move her feet and force the traveling violation from the Vikings, who have turned the ball over quite a bit here tonight. Not the cleanest game that they've ever played, but as of right now have done just enough. 2 minutes and ticking down under that 2-minute mark. This is Roberts. Looks far side. Shot fake by Now. One-handed pass over here to Geckerman. Back to Now. Now drives baseline on Tyson. Up with the right hand, no good. Batted around by the Vikings and ends up with McKenna Conkey. She clears the ball out to Evelyn Davies, and Davies is into the front court. Spins. And Conkey gets it back out to Leah Tyson. McKenna's going to repost and then drift out to the corner. That's where she's got it right now. Cutting through is Avery Supernand. Once again, a nice play, Lily Heidel. She has played hard here in this second half, has Lily Heidel. 5'3" junior. And I'll tell you what, she had poked away had a nice impact here on both ends of the floor. And now Coach Keel going to bring in a couple players off the bench. Jenna Krupp comes in, as does Alexandria McCourt, and Morgan Fowler onto the floor for Coach Keel. Fowler's doing a nice job here on Evelyn Davies. Ends up with McKenna Conkey in the corner. This is Trewen. Cutting through is Avery Supernand. Trying a touch pass underneath. Avery gets on the floor to save the possession for the Vikings and gets it straight to Leah Tyson. Down the lane goes Conkey. Kicks it far side. Here's Avery. Shot fake there. Back out to Davies. Under a minute now to play. Nice cut through by Leah Tyson, and Leah can't finish. But a nice cut and well found by Anna Trewen, who I think one of her greatest assets here early in her career. Just a sophomore, Anna Trewen. But her passing is very, very good. She sees the floor extremely well, especially for a sophomore, where maybe the varsity game starts to move a little quick for you. Not the case for Anna Trewin. 23 seconds left, excuse me. And that was kicked by Leah Tyson. Krupp has it between the circles. Crosses over, down the lane, floater up, and banked in. Jenna Krupp's got 4. 58-43. And almost into the passing lane that time. Anna Trewin able to save the possession for the Vikings, and they're going to get a block underneath. Thought Trewin might have been out of control that time, but they're going to say that Alexandria McCourt was not in position. It's 1-and-1 bonus, as that's the 8th team foul on North Fondy. 7 seconds left here tonight. The 1-and-1 bonus free throw is no good for Anna Trewin. And running the floor up ahead of Fowler. Fowler scores at the buzzer. Morgan Fowler running the floor well. And that is going to make this a 13-point game when everything's all said and done. That was great fight by North Fondy. And I'm sure there's some people out there that have no interest in hearing about, moral victories. But I'll tell you what, that was an impressive half of basketball from the North Fondy Orioles. They were down by 29 points at halftime, lose by just 13 after really playing well in that second half. So we'll get you some final numbers, get you going out of here. We get the day off tomorrow and Thursday. I'll tell you what, we've had a couple of 4-game weeks over the last couple of weeks, and a 3-game week just feels a little weird. But we'll be back on Friday for sure with that Laconia game. Let's get you some final numbers here from WLA North Fond du Lac. Morgan Fowler with that bucket at the end. She had 2. 4 for Jenna Krupp, 10 for Allison Now, 15 points for Lauren Stetbacher, and 14 points. 14 points for Lily Heidel. 15 for Stetbacher, 14 for Heidel here tonight for the Orioles. Over on the WLA side of things, 2 points, check that, 3 points for Leah Tyson, 3 for Siri Kuski, 4 for Avery Supernand. Kira Shea had a relatively quiet night, did not score in the second half, in fact. Kira still able to scrape by 11 points this evening. Abby Cole had 15 for the Vikings, and the leading scorer, as we mentioned several times, Lindsay Nell, who finished with 22. Final score, 58-45. We are going to step aside. I texted the coaching staff, said we would take someone up here after the game if they wish to send someone up. So I guess we'll hang on for just a second and see if anyone comes sprinting out of the locker room all eager to be on WLA TV. I don't think that's going to be the case, but we'll see. Otherwise, we will see you on Friday. We've been talking about this for all week long, previewing you. We talked with a couple of girls last weekend, talked with a couple of girls on Monday as well, just getting you ready for a big game that comes up on Friday night for the Vikings. They will take on the Laconia Spartans, who sit at the top of the Flyway rankings at 9-0. Tonight, Laconia, which, by the way, Laconia beat Omro by 11. Omro had to have played really well to stay with Laconia at the pit and only lost by 11 tonight. Springs was at Laconia, so obviously if Springs would upset Laconia, that would really make the stakes paramount on Friday night, because then you could win a individual or a solo Flyway Conference if the Vikes got that win. But that comes up on Friday. 58-45, the final here tonight. Glad to have you along. Jordan King saying so long. We will talk to you on Friday night. Until then, try to stay warm out there. Have a good night. We're going to come back on. Leah Tyson and Abby Cole are eager and ready to talk post game. So, hey, I'm a man of the people here. So we didn't end the stream. We'll keep her rolling here on WLA TV. If you've stuck around, if you had faith, you can. Here you go. Here's your reward. You get to talk to Abby Cole and Leah Tyson. The coaching staff waited. I bet you it was probably Coach King's fault that you guys were so late getting up. No, we won't.
You're right.
We won't badmouth her. Talking with Leah Tyson and Abby Cole, and the only reason Leah's up here is because I threatened that I would make her do this at least once. So I'm sure she's up here just thinking she's going to check a box, but we'll probably make her do this again. Abby, you finished with 15. I don't know how many rebounds you had because I can only watch so many things up here, but I would assume you had about 20 rebounds tonight, all over the place.
Thank you.
Seemed like you were getting a little frustrated there in the second half that you couldn't get a bunny to fall, but you guys knew this was an important game. Obviously, we know it comes up on Friday, but Friday means nothing in the grand scheme of trying to win a conference title if you don't take care of business tonight. What was the mindset for you guys going in?
The mindset, Coach just told us just to focus on this game, and because obviously we're all excited for Friday, and just like it'd be so much better to go in with only one loss in conference than two, so we just needed to focus and get the job done tonight.
Yeah, it gives you an opportunity on Friday to maybe share a conference title. Leah, you've been asked since you've gotten into the starting lineup, which early in the year you were coming off the bench. Now you're in the starting lineup. You've oftentimes been asked to guard this team's second most prolific player defensively. What is your mindset when you start a game on defense?
I just try to play like my hardest out there and keep them in front of me and not let them run past me. And yeah.
Was there anything in particular, and either one of you can answer this, was there anything in particular that North Fond du Lac does really well? Because they got a lot going offensively in that second half. You guys were up by 29 at halftime and won by 13. What did they do offensively that was tricky for you girls to defend?
I think they're really good at running screens well, and we don't always like get through them, so then they get open shots.
Mm-hmm. And we didn't always do the best job boxing out, so that allowed them to get some offensive boards.
I know you guys switch a lot defensively, but how big is communication for you when you are talking about screens and things like that?
It's a pretty big deal just to know whether if we're switching or not, and then if something goes wrong, then obviously there might be a free person, so that communication is always important.
Well, girls, appreciate you stopping up. Good win tonight, 58-45, and the win over North Fond du Lac sets you up for a potential conference championship on Friday night. Thanks for stopping up. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
There you go. That's Leah Tyson and Abby Cole joining us here on WLA TV. Appreciate you tuning in. Jordan King saying so long. I promise this time. And I'll say it again because I don't know if I'm going to be able to. So stay warm out there. Have a great evening.